In a quiet village surrounded by green fields and tall trees, there lived a small rabbit named Rumi. Rumi had soft white fur, long ears that always stood up straight, and bright curious eyes that sparkled whenever he discovered something new. He lived in a cozy burrow near the edge of a farmer's garden where carrots, cabbages, and lettuce grew in neat rows. Every morning when the sun rose and golden light spread across the village, Rumi would hop out of his burrow and stretch his tiny legs, ready to begin another day of adventure. The village was a peaceful place where people greeted each other warmly and animals moved freely between the fields and houses. Chickens clucked near the barns, cows grazed slowly in the meadows, and birds sang from the rooftops. Rumi loved watching all of it. Although he was small, he believed the world around him was big and full of wonderful surprises. One morning, while the dew still sparkled on the grass, Rumi hopped toward the farmer's garden. He carefully sniffed the air. The sweet smell of fresh carrots made his nose twitch with excitement. However, Rumi had learned to be careful. The farmer was kind but did not like animals nibbling on his vegetables without permission. So Rumi quietly moved between the plants, taking only a tiny carrot that had already fallen to the ground. As he nibbled on the carrot, he noticed a small sparrow sitting on a fence nearby. The sparrow looked worried and kept flapping its wings nervously. Rumi hopped closer and asked gently, "Why do you look so troubled?" The sparrow chirped sadly and said that her little chick had fallen from the nest and was stuck in the tall grass. She had tried to help but the grass was too thick for her to find the chick easily. Rumi immediately wanted to help. Even though he was just a rabbit, he believed helping others was the most important thing anyone could do. Using his strong back legs, he began hopping through the tall grass, carefully searching. His ears twitched as he listened for the faint sound of chirping. After a few minutes, he heard a tiny squeak. Pushing aside the grass, Rumi found the little chick sitting helplessly on the ground. The chick looked scared but unharmed. Rumi gently nudged the chick with his nose and guided it toward an open space where the sparrow could reach it. The sparrow quickly flew down and carefully carried her chick back to the nest. She chirped happily and thanked Rumi again and again. Rumi felt warm and proud inside. Helping someone made him happier than any carrot ever could. Later that afternoon, Rumi decided to explore the far side of the village where he had never gone before. He hopped past small houses with colorful doors and gardens full of flowers. Children laughed while playing near a big old tree, and the smell of freshly baked bread drifted from one of the houses. Soon he reached a quiet meadow where tall yellow flowers swayed in the breeze. Butterflies danced in the air, and the sky above looked wide and endless. Rumi had never seen such a beautiful place. He hopped through the flowers, feeling as if he had stepped into a magical world. Suddenly he heard a soft crying sound. Following the noise, he found a young lamb standing near a small ditch. The lamb had tried to cross but slipped and could not climb out again. The sides were steep and muddy. Rumi knew he was not strong enough to pull the lamb out, but he did not give up. He quickly ran back toward the village and found the farmer who owned the sheep. Tugging gently at the farmer's bent leg, Rumi hopped a few steps and looked back, hoping the farmer would follow. The farmer noticed the rabbit's strange behavior and became curious. "Where are you leading me, little fellow?" he said with a smile. Rumi hopped faster until he reached the meadow again. The farmer soon heard the lamb crying and quickly lifted it out of the ditch. The lamb happily ran back toward the flock. The farmer looked down at Rumi with surprise and kindness. "You clever rabbit," he said softly. "You helped save the little lamb." From that day on, the farmer always left a few carrots near the edge of the garden for Rumi. It was his way of saying thank you. As evening came, the sky turned shades of orange and pink. Rumi slowly hopped back toward his burrow. The village grew quiet as people finished their work and lights began to glow in the windows of houses. Fireflies sparkled in the cool evening air like tiny stars floating close to the ground. Rumi sat outside his burrow and looked at the peaceful village. He thought about the sparrow and her chick, the lamb in the meadow, and the farmer who had shown him kindness. Even though he was small, Rumi realized he could still make a big difference. The moon slowly rose above the fields, shining softly over the rooftops and trees. Rumi yawned and curled up inside his warm burrow. The gentle sounds of crickets filled the night, and the cool breeze rustled the grass above him. Before falling asleep, Rumi felt grateful for his home, his friends, and the adventures that each new day brought. In the quiet village, surrounded by fields and stars, the little rabbit dreamed peacefully, ready for whatever wonderful story tomorrow would bring.